There are a lot of things to love about living in Switzerland, but there are a few things that are not so great. So today I'll be talking about 3 things I love about Switzerland and 2 that I do not. Switzerland is no doubt the most beautiful place I have ever been to. The landscapes are simply breathtaking and out of this world. The mountains, the lakes, the waterfalls, it's so beautiful that I am actually convinced that Switzerland is the closest you can get to heaven on earth. And there's so much to do outdoors. There's hiking, skiing, bike riding, swimming, paragliding, you name it. Switzerland has it. And if you are not that into exercising and sports like me, you can still appreciate all that Switzerland has to offer by going on cruises, boat rides, scenic train rides, and mountain funiculars. It's just so amazing. As someone who comes from a country that is only summer all year round, the changing of season gives rhythm to life, and I feel that life does not get stagnant or mundane because there is always something different to look forward to in each season. Number 2. History is one of my favorite parts about living in Switzerland. I love exploring the old towns of each city, strolling through the cobblestone streets, visiting medieval castles, and just admiring the architecture. If you are living in Europe, all of this are so normal, but I come from Singapore and we have just celebrated our 58th National Day last year, while Switzerland dates back to 1291. And this gives rise to hundreds of years of deep-rooted Swiss traditions and festivals, which is something that I truly appreciated. Such as I went to see the Alpine Descent, I celebrated L'Escalade, seeing the Alphorn Festival, and so much more. I love that there is always a cause for celebration in Switzerland, no matter how big or how small it is. Switzerland is 50 times bigger than Singapore. We are just a tiny little red dot on the map, and even after living here for a year plus, I have barely scraped the surface of all of that can be explored in Switzerland. I love the fact that I can always take a vacation within the country itself and just a train ride away. But with that being said, Switzerland is located right in the middle of Europe and it shares borders with 5 different countries, which makes traveling so convenient. If you want to visit Paris, Germany, Italy, it's just an hour away, and anywhere outside of Switzerland is always cheaper. So, I love living in Switzerland, but there are just a few things that are not so great. Number 1, administration here takes time. You have to be patient, like really patient. It took me about a year to get my visa, and that says a lot. It's the longest I have ever waited for a document, and I'm just counting my blessings that I've got it. And when it comes to digitalization, Switzerland is painfully slow. You get 95% notifications by mail, and I have received so many letters to things that could have just been said by an email or text to save paper. So there's this once we went down to the office and there was no one there, so we filled in a form regarding our inquiry, and few weeks later we received a letter saying we will respond to you in a few weeks as we are currently overwhelmed by inquiries. And it took you weeks to tell us that it would take even longer for you to respond. It can be really frustrating at times, but we just learned to be patient with the administrative processes. After all, this is just a tiny little inconvenience to live in such an amazing country, right? Number 2. Switzerland has rules for everything. Coming from Singapore, this is not exactly something new as we are pretty strict on law abiding and fines as well, but it's just a different set of rules, like you can't vacuum or recycle glass on Sundays, you cannot own one cat, you have to own at least 2 cats. But there are some unwritten rules that you would never know about until you get the famous Swiss glare. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but to put it in words, a Redditor said that the Swiss doesn't like direct confrontation, so the stare of disapproval is perfect for them to subtly show you that what you are doing is not respectful. And chances are, if you are living in Switzerland, you are likely to get some of those. It's all part of the Swiss experience. So this marks the end of my video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos on living in Switzerland, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!